Really? Yep. All right, we have a quorum and it is 5:45, so I'm going to call our city council listening session to order. It's Monday, May 5th, 5:45. Thanks very much for everybody who's here. So here are the folks that I have pre-scheduled, and raise your hand. Linda Lang, there's Linda. Elizabeth Carbroni, there she is, yep. Pam. And then Parker, I don't see her here yet tonight. So why don't we get started? Linda, you're up first, and what I'm going to ask you to do is you come up, you can sign in after you finish up, just so we make this move along. We've got 5 minutes, and we'll maybe ask some questions. We'll try and engage a little bit, and what else was I going to say? Oh, and just make sure you state your name as you start. State your name for the record, so we have that as well. So, okay.
Hello, my name is Linda Lang, 9125 Kell in Bloomington. And I grew up in Bloomington. I think Bloomington is great, and it's wonderful to see the city council people and the staff here. I did mail in my comments. I don't want to read them to you. I'll go over the highlights briefly, and I have a couple other points, and I don't think I'll take the entire 5 minutes. I did attend Creekside activities with my mother, and my parents bought their house in 1963 that I'm now owning. And before that, we lived in East Bloomington, and they bought that built that also in 1955. And I was born in 1956, so you kind of see where that's all going. I did go to the Creekside activities with my mother and intend to go more now that I myself am older. I did work as an orthopedic nurse. I have a registered nurse license. I volunteered at local nursing homes for years and pushed a lot of wheelchairs, helped a lot of disabled people, both as a nurse and a volunteer. And I've recently had both my hips replaced, so I'm now bionic. Parking at the main entrance, just to make my ideas, if the world was perfect, you would do all of these things. So parking at the main entrance, I would request that the handicap parking be across the front of the longest entryway. So if this is the door and this is curb and the sidewalk, that all of the parking starts there. Okay, so that you get out of your car, you get into the sidewalk in the winter with the snow, the sleet flies, you make your way to the door. And then in my perfect world, we'd replicate that backwards for handicapped people. And we'd have a lot of them because able-bodied people in America need to walk, but it's harder for handicapped people with wheelchairs and walkers. I think you can't have enough handicap spots. Entrance doors, it's hard to always find where the little button is, push the door. Pushing the wheelchair, you stop, park the wheelchair, walk over. If you're in the wheelchair, the walker, you make your way over. The doors are heavy. If we have auto open motion detectors, at least for the main entrance where all of the handicaps parking is, you just walk up with whatever, able-bodied people and disabled-bodied people, you know, flick it open and walk right through. Women's bathrooms. In my perfect world, all of the women's bathrooms would be handicap accessible. They're bigger. They give you the ability to hold on, move around, and in that stall, I would make sure that it's well lit and not light that's coming from over there to over here. And most women in the wintertime wear coats and have purses, and it's very inconvenient to do what you need to do with your coat, wearing your coat. So we need some kind of heavy hook for both. My purse a lot of times weighs more than my coat. The lunchroom at Creekside, I noticed that it was very, very popular to come for lunch when there was entertainment, and then it was very difficult to actually get a seat if you weren't on the internet. If you didn't read, and after a while, Bloomington did away with the flyer as a cost savings thing. and then you had to pick them up. So it became more and more difficult for my mother to keep track of, well, I'd like to go see these people, these people, these people. She didn't go every day or every Friday. So there were people who were turned away. So I'm hoping that in the new building, that if there's that sort of entertainment for retired people, that the room be big enough to allow as many people as possible. And I did notice that a lot of people from Richfield who thought it was fun, and they bumped up on her. And she knew this because she saw it and she talked to them in the previous thing. So it was full. The elevator, I'm hoping that if it's 2 stories, which I assume that it is, that there'll be one elevator, because wheelchairs and handicap equipment, they take up more room. Fewer people can go in, you have to wait. Even if you're in a walk or you're standing there, you don't have the energy that really a normal body person would have. And then the coat racks, I think my memory is correct, that Creekside has little hooks outside in the hall for everybody. It's the coolest thing since sliced bread. And I would do that inside in the new building. And then if you have rooms that can hold a lot more than you really have hooks for, if you can have in the closet racks that we can roll in. So that's the end of my prepared remarks. And I have a couple other things.
We're at 5 minutes. I'm sorry.
Am I?
Yep, you are.
Can I have 30 seconds?
30 seconds, go.
We have archery, golf courses, Bloomington and Bloomington fields, the Herbeck fields, ice arenas, 3 football fields. I understand those are with the schools. I think that 800-pound gorilla in the room is that seniors in Bloomington are going to get a building that is going to be shared with other populations, and they are going to feel that they're pushed aside. I think that the city council needs to deal directly with that and make the seniors feel like they didn't give anything up, that they really gained a better building and a better program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you much. Elizabeth.
Hello.
Welcome back. Good evening.
Evening. Just make sure she said that. Yep. Okay, so my name is Elizabeth Tambrone, and I'm back here today representing my family and many of my neighbors. I'm here to address the lack of neighborhood engagement surrounding the new Community Health and Wellness Center. In a city council meeting on August 26, 2024, Councilman Mula asked, this is a quote, "Have we had the communication with the neighborhood?" I asked that because I drove around the neighborhood the other day and it is rather quiet. And with a facility like this, it will become just busier, right? So when does that conversation happen with the neighbors to make sure they're on board online and knowing what's going to happen in their backyard, end quote. In direct response to this question, Ms. Ann Katria, sorry, confidently said, quote, "We also intend to have meetings with the neighbors specifically. We plan to bring HGA and our construction manager into that conversation so that they're sure to understand what to expect through the entire process, from the time that Creekside comes down to the time construction starts. Throughout the entire process, so I can assure you, we will be engaging significantly with the neighbors," end quote. This has not happened. And even if it does happen, it sounds like it will be an information session, not a survey or engagement. She also spoke of a planned kickoff for a community engagement event that was planned for September of 2024 that the neighbors could come to. I want to point out that in the city newspaper, this was advertised as simply an event to celebrate and see what's been done. There was no invitation to ask questions or give feedback. Some of us in the neighborhood did not attend this event because of that reason. Some of us did attend this event, but didn't see an option for giving feedback. And one of my neighbors attended this event, voiced their concerns to one of you here, and was completely brushed off. So I'm here to say that it's already 9 months later, and we have absolutely not been considered. We have not been informed. There has been no engagement. There have been no surveys in our mailbox or knocks on our doors. The only way we've stayed informed is by reading the Sun Current or watching the city council meetings on YouTube. for a project that is quite literally happening in our backyards. We know nothing more than anyone else with access to the internet. And we had to go searching and digging for that information. Whose job was it to follow through on Councilman Moa's concern for us? Excuse me. And why hasn't it been done? I was here last week bringing you alarming concerns about traffic studies and the health and safety issues coming from our neighborhood. All of those issues are still outstanding. The mayor assured me that I would be connected with the right people. I have not been connected. The only email I have received was not even addressed to me. I was carbon copied on an email that was in response to someone else's question. The email and that email only explained the process of what a traffic study is, the site plans and the public hearing. I know this process and I did not ask about it. So why am I back already just 1 week later? Why the urgency? There is urgency because from August of 2024 through March of 2025, our neighborhood believed the city intended on buying 8 of our homes to make a parking lot. It has been barely 6 weeks since we've learned that you plan to cram over 400 parking spaces and a large facility on the Modest Creekside lot. It's barely been 6 weeks since we learned that you plan on sending 600 or more cars a day down our safe and quiet streets. Traffic from early morning through late evening, 7 days a week. There is urgency because the schematic design phase is now done and the design and development phase has started, according to the city newspaper. Demolition starts in 3 months and construction shortly thereafter. Before more planning is done and more money is spent, I'm asking you to follow through on your civic responsibility of representing the interests and well-being of your community. The number of homes in our neighborhood is relatively small, but our demographics are very diverse in race, income, gender, marital status, age, and beliefs. We are your community. And we need you to take action to help us protect our well-being and the integrity of our neighborhood. Thank you again for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Council, any comments, questions here? We have about a minute or so. I will say, I appreciate your comments. I will say, as I look at this list here, we had staff pull together the in-person engagement opportunities from May of 2024 until now, and I'm seeing 15 or 20 opportunities. I mean, including the farmers market, including the Creekside Community Celebration that you referenced in September, that there was a lot of folks there. I was there as well. The indoor farmers markets and so on. So I agree there hasn't perhaps been a door-to-door survey and back and forth with the neighbors, but there's been a lot of opportunities to ask questions, to provide feedback, and to be part of this conversation.
Yeah. So as I said last week, and I addressed it again today, a lot of us engaged starting spring, maybe even before that. With the first time you guys had like online surveys, a lot of us in our neighborhood were taking those and very involved in farmers markets, those type of things. But when we were approached in August saying the city's interested in purchasing your homes for a parking lot, it was kind of a mute topic, right? So a lot of us were kept saying, well, we still want the green space. We are reiterating what we had said in the spring, but we had no chance to really bring up the 600 cars, the 400 car parking lot, the entrance and exit off of Newton Avenue. It's just kind of our hands were tied. So as I said, our neighborhood has only known about that for about 6 weeks now. So that's why I came last week representing our neighborhood, and that's why I'm back here today. And I just want to clarify that last week I was bringing the safety and wellness concerns, and this week I'm specifically addressing the, you guys said you were going to reach out and communicate with us specifically in the neighborhood, and that has not happened.
And I would argue it has, maybe not specifically, but there's been those opportunities. And for the 4 houses, of those 8 houses, 4 were facing the communities, the proposed site, 4 are facing the other direction. And so to say that we impacted the entire neighborhood by not reaching out to you 8, or having you 8 believe that you were going to have your.
No, you have to understand the whole neighborhood believed that that was going to be a parking lot. So that would significantly change the way traffic flows in and out of the area and what would happen in that area.
Yeah,
That's what I
Commissioner, if I
need to say.
could,
Just very quickly, we're
Yeah,
over time here.
I think there's so the misunderstanding, and I'm sorry that this happened. First off, I do believe that Ann and team are planning on talking to you guys. I think in your own comments, you mentioned that she's going to be working with you from the time the Creamside comes down through the entire process. She was specifically answering that question around the construction, the demolition and construction process. So we didn't have anything specific for the neighborhood related to design or anything like that. So, and maybe we should have, I'm not saying we shouldn't have, but I hearing her comments directly from you, she was very much speaking about how is the construction of this going to disrupt your neighborhood and how can we make sure you're clear on that. The more important thing though is when we first put the schematics for the community center out to everybody, the parking lot was not a consideration. Your 8 homes were not on the list to be bought or anything like that. All that we've done is because we couldn't make that happen, we've gone back to our original diagram. Now, what I'm getting at is that should not have been a surprise. I mean, maybe we didn't do a good job of communicating, but the original diagram has been the original diagram since we first put this on the ballot. And it includes the parking lot as part of where the soccer field is now and no parking lot where you are. And I'm on the record saying I didn't want to buy your homes from the get-go, and that's a different problem, but that was, so I know that it preceded our engagement with you all. I guess the question I would ask is, what was it about the original design that we didn't hear about your concerns at that time? Now, not that we shouldn't have gotten them, I get it, right? I understand we should have been more proactive maybe, but that wasn't before we made the decision to potentially come out and ask you for your homes, that was the design. So, and we didn't hear from anybody. So I'm kind of curious about your
Well, I
thoughts.
will say, I know myself and a lot of neighbors did engage in the online surveys and the
Mhm.
farmer's market,
Mhm.
whether we did it anonymously or not.
Yes,
I
sure.
don't know.
Understood.
And we valued things like green space and the quietness of the neighborhood, the safety of the area. I know were big concerns for a lot of people when they engaged.
So we probably have that information because you've entered that information into the
I would
record.
assume.
Yeah, okay. Understood.
If that's the way to track that.
I understand.
I don't mean
Thank
to
you.
cut this off, but we are well
Thank you.
over 5, so
Yep,
I want to
sure.
make sure everybody
Okay,
gets a
thank you
chance.
for
So,
your time.
thank you. Yeah.
I'm Pam Palmer, and as you know, from the beginning, I've been very concerned about the seniors, true seniors that are retired, and that's their social outlet. Then I've met Elizabeth and some other of the great neighbors over there. I originally was delighted that you guys chose not to buy, which has not been publicly announced for any reason why. Is there any reason?
I think it's public. I don't know how public. I don't think we haven't made an announcement, but I think it's public. It's not
You
secret.
did a
So,
very vague thing after the budget, they have the city do what the council instructed, and it was like, whatever. So, you know, if I didn't hear through other means and know them, I wouldn't know word. So I was happy, yes, we're not gonna waste money and lose the tax revenue. And I realized what hell they're going through. And, why? You said last week that there was a traffic study, but now we have since learned through Denise that we're in the process of a traffic study now. Now? Why not months ago? How could you get this far in the design and all of that stuff and choosing all of the money and time without having a traffic study? And why are the entrance and exits on Newton Avenue? On that quiet little street, something should be on 98th, why not something on Penn? And as far as when she said, at your last week at the meeting, you said, we will have so-and-so get it, I think it was Kirk Roberts, get in touch with you. Crickets, nothing at all. Same with when she was talking about getting feedback or intake, that isn't just going to the farmer's market. It sounded like they're gonna be greatly affected, more than I who live safely away. They should have had their own special meeting, not necessarily knocking on every door, but saying, we're gonna have a meeting at Creekside or whatever, come over and talk to us. So I don't understand why you didn't know or lied about that it was already done when the traffic study is yet to be made. And, and then the other thing. I was really insulted last week when Lona called me out for,
Your public message.
my public message.
Yeah, it was public. I didn't call you out, like identify you that you weren't actually the author of that article.
I object, and then we had a bunch of heated emails, which you guys were all included in. My point is a couple of things. One, senior programming doesn't begin at age 55, Melissa. You're still working and active. We're talking about.
Senior programming at
Excuse me,
Creekside starts at 50
Can I
plus.
finish this?
Remember, this is a
Can
dialogue.
I finish this?
It's a dialogue that requires.
Her to let me talk.
Could we have facts though, please?
Yes.
Then maybe you can
This
give
is
the
what
facts.
she did before.
Because Creekside is
Pam?
a 50 plus
Pam.
community.
Let me interrupt for a minute. If you pound the table again, I'm gonna ask you to leave, okay?
Okay, so one thing is my fact. She has not pointed out a fact that I got wrong. I said seniors were feeling left out. If seniors are feeling left out, it's like if a husband and wife are arguing. No, you're not hurt. I can do this. Well, I'm feeling hurt. You know what I mean? It's how somebody is feeling. So people at Creekside, many of them 70 and 80, not 55, because they have jobs and other things to do, are feeling left out. I have heard from many. I spent this whole morning on the phone with people. All the people that showed up last week were because of my column. So one, I don't like being called a liar. The former mayor used to say, we disagree on some things, but you always work to get the facts. And the fact is, many seniors, retired people without jobs are feeling left out. So, and again, another way that they're feeling left out is some of the programs will not continue. And also, seniors are all in multi-purpose rooms. Now, I did hear, I hope the rumor is correct, that the boutique will have a little room.
The boutique will have space. I'm not sure if it's a little room or.
It's a mobile kiosk, which has been published.
So, somebody told me that they were being granted.
Who's
I
on?
can't remember now, I've talked to so many people. So anyway, the kiosk is ridiculous for that whole thing of theirs to be on a little kiosk. Certainly one of those multi-purpose rooms could be for the boutique. Yeah, I'll have to try to find my notes at home. So it is a fact that many seniors are feeling left out. I'm not saying there weren't engagements, same with what you said to her, but seniors themselves are feeling left out. And when all this stuff came up, which has been for years, as you know, I've traveled to a lot of other community centers. You walk into like Maple Grove, I mean, it is a hustling, bustling thing. And like Linda pointed out, and when I had my hip problems, you become very conscious of, oh my goodness, how am I gonna get to that door? And
Yeah,
right
we're
now-
almost 6 minutes now, so.
Yeah, so, and I'll just throw out, last thing, maybe I'll bring it up next meeting. The Veterans Memorial. Tell me that.
So let's say that for the next meeting, since we're already at 6 minutes. How about if you tell me, talk about the Veterans
Yeah.
Memorial next time, okay? Thank you.
Whoops.
This is Nova Jewel. I actually brought my sunglasses, but it's actually, Noma loves the bright light.
I wouldn't can answer though to why you thought there was a survey in the.
Because there's a,
No,
there's
she's
a,
teething like wild, so the key is.
Okay.
there's a parking study on your way, Pam.
I appreciate it. I like calling you.
Yep, number 9.
Thanks, the darkness thing.
Last week you said, we already did it.
Don't remember saying that. Maybe I did.
I'll record.
All right, go ahead, Parker.
All right, so it seems like what I'm saying is echoed in a lot of folks here today. The community is not, the disabled community, the elder community, the intergenerational community is not at the table. There was that video that went out that looked like propaganda where I had people telling me about what was gonna happen. And that's how it's been since the beginning. Unfortunately, we live in a dominant society that doesn't welcome folks with disabilities. I'm multiple disabled, and so is my daughter. And, you know, there's engagement sessions online. is not where people are. You gotta go to them. You gotta go to the wood shop. You gotta go to the artist's room. When we're talking about sensory friendly, it's not a room. It's a way of life. My neighbor, Linda Bartosh, runs the SEL room at Oak Grove Middle School. Maybe you don't know what that is. I'm learning because my daughter's starting at the inclusive preschool at the Bloomington Public Schools this fall. What it means, it's a room that's got dimmed light. It's a room that's got comfy places to be. It is filled with students and staff every single day. People are wanting to have a place in which home, is for them. And this new Creekside, I don't even know what's going on in your neighborhood, but I just know that a fee-based place to go and have lunch and a place to play pool that doesn't exist is not gonna exist somewhere else. Folks are not gonna be able to pay a fee. We're already living in emergency, like I brought up last time, 55,000 of us are asking for stuff that the public health does give that's probably gonna weigh, and that's food. We here in the east side, it always seems to be the agenda of the community, right? There's space, there's so many baseball fields. How about we use some of what we're hearing in this room here tonight and pay attention to us, because we're not going away. And the truth is like, I work in public health. I presented at that public health conference that Mazur, Adamson, and Boggio and public health did. And the thing that is the hardest for us is social isolation. Public health in this community started as in-home care, and that's amazing. But the public health has been going on in Creekside in every room for so long. And I just echo these folks that we just need to be brought to the table. We need to be in that video that speaks to what's going on, because otherwise you're hurting your community. I'm like, hey, Mr. Mayor, I heard that we have someone in common, and that's Rachel Krug. She's been an auntie and friend, an artist friend of mine. I'm an artist for many, many years. And I know her programs that she does for kids and for adults are about our relationship to the natural world. There is revolutionary work going on at the Indigenous Arboretum. And I know that there's leadership in our school systems around that and education. And I think we need to start listening to that. Because taking down old growth trees, because that's what's on Creekside, are old growth trees. Why don't we, instead of taking everything down right now, when we're in extreme emergency, when we wonder if the waivers that pay for me to take care of her, that pay for her healthcare are gonna go away or not. And you're telling us that our community center is about to go away, So I'm gonna stop talking, and the rest of the time, I thought we'd sing a song, because my daughter's first language is dance and music. And we have a song we like to sing, right? You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You'll make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. My daughter's hungry, she's super tired. It's an honor to meet each and every one of you. I believe you're in my district. I don't know you, but you're seeing and feeling us, and I'm so grateful for your wisdom today. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Oh, please don't take my sunshine away. This is our beautiful Bloomington community. And the Creekside serves both Bloomington, Edina, Richfield, and this whole beautiful space. All we're asking is to be part of the decisions at the table. So thanks for listening today. La 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 la, la 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 la. La 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 la
Okay, so
la.
the person came in.
Yeah.
You came in late. Were you hoping to speak?
No, I'm just listening.
You're just listening.
But
Good enough.
I'm Elizabeth's neighbor, so I'm
Sounds good. Thank
just
you.
taking it in and going from there.
All right. Well, thank you all for coming this evening. We are a minute short of our time, so I think I would look for a motion to adjourn, and we'll head downstairs for our regular meeting.
So moved.
Motion to a second to adjourn our listening session this evening. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Thanks so much for being here. Thank you all. Thanks for your comments tonight.